David is with us in Canada. Hi, David. Welcome to the EntreLeadership Podcast.
Hello, David. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you today.
You too. How can I help?
So I work for my father-in-law. He owns 3 tire shops. We've got about 13 employees spread out among the 3. And so I manage one of the shops full-time for him. Gross, we do about 3 to 3.5 million in sales annually. And so he's been wanting to start transitioning some of the leadership so that he's not so much involved in the day-to-day operation of the business. He says he doesn't want to actually retire and leave the business, but to be able to take a step back. So we're not quite sure how to go about that transition. And he doesn't really have a clear plan in place as far as he doesn't even know if he wants me to take over full management of the entire operation or what exactly he wants to do. So there's not a lot of clarity there. And I guess we don't really know even how to go about starting that process.
Okay. Well, it starts with starting, of course, and that's what you guys haven't done. So on the one hand, you're calling up saying, hey, we're ready to do this transition. On the other hand, he's saying, I don't know if I want to do it or not. So I guess he needs to decide what he wants to do. What does the end game look like? When the smoke clears on this plan, what's standing? We got a new owner and you work for the new owner, or you don't work there at all and you go somewhere else and have a career, or how's he going to get out? How's he going to get bought out? I mean, what does he want from his business after this transition's over? And he needs to decide that now. Yesterday, he's late. He's really late.
Yep.
It's frustrating you, and he's just kind of wandering around, listless. Well, I'd kind of like to get out of here, but I don't know how to do it, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know if I'm going to do it. And I don't want to retire, but I sort of want to retire, and good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think
painter, get off the ladder.
Big problem.
Yeah,
for sure. He says what he wants to do. He wants the business to stay in the family because it's always been his family business, and that's what he would like. He doesn't want it to just be sold off to somebody else.
So he wants you to take it or not? Is there another family member in it?
Well, not right now. No, it doesn't seem like any of the other kids are really interested in being part of the business. So that's another thing. I'm the only one that's really here.
So you want to stay in the family, but you want it to stay in the business. You want to stay in the family. There's one of two things happens. Someone else gets involved, or we work with you. So nobody else wants to get involved, so it's me. Or it doesn't stay in the family. So now we've established I am the family. I mean, you guys need to sit down. How old is he?
He's turning 53 this year, I believe, or 54.
When does he want out? Do you know?
No, I don't know exactly.
Okay. So what I would say is this. I would say, hey, I don't care what you do with your business. I do care that we continue to stumble along with a lack of clarity. I'm not okay with that. And so what I would like to do is to sit down somewhere and go to a bed and breakfast or something and rent it for a day and just go sit on the back porch and, where it's pretty weather and we're going to just sit here and we're going to talk. Okay, what is it you want to do and how can we get there? Henry Cloud says, what is your desired future, right? What is your desired future? Okay, let's just pretend I'm going to make this up. And if he doesn't start with something in that conversation, you can start and say, okay, if this doesn't sound good, tell me. But here's an idea. We could say at 65, you are 100% retired and you've been bought out by me. If that's our desired future, then how can we work over the next 12 years to accomplish those two goals? One is we've got to have an escalating thing for your leadership positions, and you've got to start building up some kind of a way to buy him out or him give it to you or whatever he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 12 years to incrementally do that. You don't have to do anything the first 2 years. But if the plan is in place that after 2 years, we're going to take step 1, and after 2 more years, we're going to take step 2, and step 1 might be that you move as over 2 of the stores. Step 3 might be you move over all 3 of the stores. And then what does his job look like, his daily job, if you're doing that? And so you're increasing, he's diminishing in his duties, and we're figuring out the ownership transfer concept and how we're going to pull that off. And how can we incrementally do that? In 12 years, you could do this very gradually, and that way he won't freak out.
Okay. Yep.
But you're going to get increasingly frustrated if there's no freaking plan. Agreed?
Yeah, it's already happening. I can feel it creeping in.
Yeah. Because it's so disrespectful to you.
Yeah.
To expect you to just hang on and run.
Concern,
I'm sorry?
I'm just saying that's my main concern, because at the end of the day, I have to look out for me and my family, and if I don't have any clarity about my future in this process, then I don't know what I'm doing.
And here's what I would tell him. I'd say, listen, I love you as my father-in-law. As my boss, I'm going to be looking for a job if we can't figure this out, because I've got to take care of my future. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather work something out here. And I'm not threatening you. I don't have to take over tomorrow. But we have to lay out a plan that over the next however many years, we incrementally, by 5 or 10 steps, make the moves to cause this transition to occur. And let me tell you, David, there's a couple things to keep in mind here. One is the founder, he founded these stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I founded this business. The founder, all the data we have on family business says the transfer from the founder, Gen 1 to Generation 2, is the most difficult emotionally, because the founder oftentimes has a lot of their identity tied up in the business, and they're also a hardhead. They're stubborn. I am.
Yeah.
And they're real opinionated, and they're always right. That's me. That's how I'm really good at talk radio. Okay? Because I'm always right. And I'm an expert on my opinion, right? So, yeah, that's who you're dealing with. And so he's going to have all these emotions go through, because it's very difficult for him to let go of this, even in his mind. And he knows when he lays off this exit plan, that here's the exit ramp, and the car has got to get off over here to get off the exit ramp, or you're going to miss the turn. He knows we all know intellectually, intuitively, that when we lay out the plan, that the freaking thing's going to happen. And it scares the bejesus out of you. As soon as I started laying out my succession plan, the ground started moving under my feet. It was weird. It was emotional. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's thing one you need to know about succession planning, and this is for legacy builders, people that are in a stage where you're ready to do a succession plan. And you can learn all about this at EntreLeadership.com and look at our elite stuff and get with some of our coaches. They can walk you through that too. But the second thing is, the more gradual the succession plan, the higher the probability that it's successful. And so, if you do this in 1.2 years, your probability of success is very low. If you do it in 12 years, it's much higher. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because it doesn't shake everybody to their bones. It doesn't shake your whole nervous system up and everything that you're doing and all that. And it doesn't shock the customer, and it doesn't shock the vendors, and it doesn't shock the employees. But too oftentimes a founder's succession plan is, as they're dying, they grab their chest, and as they fall back into the grave, they toss the keys out. And that's their only plan. That's dumb. You have a real high probability of that thing going down the tubes when you do that. And,
yeah, that worries me too.
Yeah, so, I would just sit and say, listen, I don't want to steal this from you. If you want to keep it until you die, that's fine. I don't want to force you to do anything. I, as a team member, have to know what the future looks like, in order for this to be okay long term. So let's figure out our future. And if it's a 20-year plan, if it's a 10-year plan, if it's a 5, I don't care. But I need a plan. I need a plan because I just staying exactly where I am with no plan sets my family up for failure. And you love your daughter more than that. This is your father-in-law, right?
Yes.
This is you talking to him. You love your daughter more than to set her provider up for failure. And so let's figure this out where you get out of this what you want to get out of it, and you get out when you want to get out. But let's lay out a timeline that as long as I'm proving that I can handle the job, my competency, then we're going to accelerate along that timeline. And then you've got to figure out, how to, if you're going to be buying him out or how you're going to do that, or you're going to share profits the rest of his life. What's the plan there? What is you going to do from there? So that's what we're after. So, hey man, we appreciate you calling in. Family business. Oh, one of the other rules about family business, your family business is going to be no more functional than your family. If your family's cray-cray, your business going to be cray-cray.